we have in store another wonderful poet. This is not her first appearance here with us with this series. I'm very honored. Maria Chisolm. Okay. I'm going to give you a little background on Maria. Maria was born in Washington, D.C. and raised in London and Australia. She has read her poetry at the Ensemble Theater in New York and participated in the Las Vegas 20th Anniversary Symposium Poetry Contest. She won a poetry contest at the Queensborough Public Library in 2007 and has read on Hugh Hamilton's Talkback radio show on WBAI. She's also read at the Drama Bookshop for Potpourri with Melissa Maxwell, which Melissa Maxwell stage directed. And Maria is in 2 anthology books and was in the 2005 edition of Essence magazine. She's done open mic poetry in Detroit, Washington, D.C., and New York City. Maria's poetry book, Sudan's Angel, is available on Amazon or from the publishing company Author House, and she has copies. You could see her after the reading and talk to her about them. I'm very honored that Maria is joining us once again. Welcome to Maria. Let's hear a warm welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. Bernard, thank you again for having me for this edition. Such a pleasure. As Bernard said, my poetry book, Sudan's Angels, you can get from me. I have copies tonight. Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, not the store.com, and on my website, and on Kindle. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. First poem is called Stay. There is a disturbance in the air at Paisley Park compound. Folks are not smiling in Minneapolis, and neither are we, but maybe they are. The androgynous dancing man seen in a club one time, wearing a pink feathered boa and platform shoes. He enjoyed life, yeah. He was what no one will ever be like. Stay. Hush in the walls from Warner Brothers towards the psychedelic rock star. The watchtower could not save the eerie loss of our magical phenomena. People poured into concert halls and stadiums to hear eclectic songs from the superstar who was a magical genius and fashionista to the core. Stay. Manna from heaven he was. People gazed at him on stage. He took our breath away while we escaped into themes of graphic sexuality and spiritual plateaus. We screamed, we chanted for more and more. We were mesmerized by the 5'2" musically diversified purple one. Stay. Did he feel death coming? Did death speak to him before he was snatched away? Stay. Did he resist the calling or willingly succumb to the open hands of Jehovah? Could it all have been changed? And why cremate? Why rid the body so quickly, so unembellished? He could have been embalmed, reversed the blood to glycerin for preservation, then dipped in gold. If he could have only stayed to do more, work more, to love more, stay more. Quote, to get through this thing called life. Quote, end quote. Robert Gibbons, are you here tonight? Okay, I'm gonna read this anyway. This was written for him. I'm sorry he's not here to hear it, but all right. Okay. No title. Oh, actually, this isn't the one. This is okay. The Robert Gibbons one is coming after this. You all have heard about the saying, "I know what you did last summer." Well, this is, I know what you are going to do this summer with your straw floppy hat on, MAC lipstick, Dior shades, and gents, I see you looking good with your brown and white seersucker suit on, Paul Stewart bow tie. Damn, I know what you'll be doing this summer. Sitting on the porch, fanning your blues away. No AC in that household. Mama, though, is in the kitchen dripping sweat while banging those pots and pans. Sweet potatoes this and fried okra that. Hyacinth flowers in blue, pink, and red smell so sweet. Sunflowers as tall as trees. The boardwalks have live bands and thong bikinis, thong, 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 thong. Men in Brazilian sangas, showing off their package deal, yeah. Garden poetry readings with friends, ice cream cones melting in the sun, and barefoot Sally reads yet another poem about her orgasms while sitting on top. We always look forward to hearing Eric's affinity for butterflies, ladybugs, and rabbits. I know what you'll be doing this summer. On the rooftop bar sipping chocolate martinis, not far from Times Square. Restless souls window shopping and dishing out many a dollar to vendors and storefronts. Cameras clicking, so happy to be in New York City, the Big Apple. I know what you'll be doing this summer at the New Jersey State Fair. Peeling mangoes, trying to catch all that sweet juice dripping. Going on those curvy, crazy rides, then screaming, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" I say, get yourself a corn dog and shut up all that noise. The helicopter ride is the ride I'll be going on. I can see the whole fair and all the pretty lights below while cruising in the sky. I know what you'll be doing this summer. Picnic at the park is where you'll be at. Family, friends, exes, and significant others will be rolled up in there. People showcasing their reptiles and parrots on shoulders. You see, I know what you'll be doing this summer. Camping out under the moon, spilling sangria, giving homage to those no longer with us, to taste grapes from vine. This is Robert Gibbons' piece. It's called Sundays Know Best. I like this piece. I receive a Sunday morning call from my friend who fills me in about his poetry views, the venues he has recited at, and how life is just simply serendipitous for him. I told him I saw him at the Cotton Club on Wednesday dancing with a dashiki on, barefoot buck wild. And he said, "That's right, baby, you know that." Oh, we talk about theater events and which one to go to next while skateboarding there, wearing vintage eye goggles. I say my Sunday morning calls are the bestest, with vibrant colors that shoot high to the sky, and like butterflies that flutter then laugh out loud. He is my cup of tea in the morning with honey lemon drops, Walt Disney smiles wrapped all into one. Be aware and surely invite such calls of grandeur into your life, coated with sugar cane and the Florida sun, yeah. You see, he listens to me and I listen to him, and yes, we bring it to the table, mix it and groove with it while I still lie in bed and he sits in his garden with a cigarette and black coffee, New York Times or a library book, starving for the information he reads and struggling to stay on top of this movement called life. Poet, bring it, poet, bring it next Sunday and the Sundays thereafter, like Lanston, like Baldwin, like Zora Neale, sitting under the bonsai tree. We share and converse and get wired and fired up, and maybe our testimonies might be heard by a third party listening on the phone. So what? They will be intrigued with comedic bullshit untamed, or get a history lesson from the historian himself. I swear, Sundays always know best. Thank you, good people. Am I good? I was in Grand Central for online last year. It was a long line to waiting for my bus, and there seemed to be some quiet chaos going on in the terminal, and folks didn't know what was happening. And I happened to see somebody while I was standing online waiting for my bus, and asked, I said, he's got to know why there's such delays in and out of New York. And he told me there was a homeless man that was decapitated on the terminal upstairs in the bus roundabouts. But that was very hush-hush. He told me that, and this is what I came up with. Nobody talked about the homeless man that was decapitated by a bus at Port Authority. Not Channel 2, 4, 7, 11, or 10 didn't give that man a prayer, condolences, not even a thought of Zen. No picture in the papers, no protest or march. I hope his soul did rise to heaven. Bet he was an essayist, looking for clarity in the abomination of. Bet he was a wizard who used a talisman to strike down evildoers. Did he collect bottles and cans for cash? Guzzle a little whiskey to soothe the pain, no shame? Did the fairies murmur hours earlier, you will die today, you will die today? so he knew in advance. Last chance. Forgotten about that homeless man was, like a soldier back from war, shell-shot, not having extremities to look at. Hope his soul rose to heaven. Nobody talked about the homeless man that was decapitated by a bus at Port Authority. He was crossing the road on the upper level of the terminal. Bet he was an essayist looking for clarity in the abomination of. Bet he was a wizard who used a talisman to strike down evildoers. He'll probably cross many times more now, floating through the chaos of the corporate rush, placing bets on who will make it safely to the other side. This is also in the family of homelessness. New York City is in a state of emergency with homelessness, from what I can see. New York City is in a state of an emergency with homelessness, from what I can see. There are more and more people camping on the blocks. What has happened to the city? Somehow this all must stop. Some have come from Connecticut, Philadelphia as well. I wonder if that one there was once a Southern belle. The Armory in the Bronx has closed. Too bad, 'cause it held so many. So easily taken away, not a party, no confetti. What will happen to these people? Their dogs sit by their side, looking down at their faces, wanting another place to reside. New York City reeks of stomach acid mixed with piss. We suffocate from their decay. May I chat? Bring some flowers? Maybe something sauteed. New York City is in a state of an emergency with homelessness, from what I can see. New York City is in a state of an emergency with homelessness, from what I can see. Such a bad way to live. Scratching fleas and lice, living in a dark place while the help sits in paradise. In paradise. While the help sits in paradise, the homeless sit next to American flags, taped to bungee cords, tin cups, and such.
Let's hear an applause for it. That was so powerful and moving. I can tell you.